everyone, it's Monica with Scrap Saturdays. It's been a long time since I've come out with the video. Like I told you in my Mother's Day card video that I put out, I am busy making my sister's wedding stuff. So all of her stationery, including her wedding shower cards, her wedding invitations, gifts to give people, and just little tags and stuff like that. So every moment that I have, I've been dedicating to finishing or trying to finish everything. So between a full-time job and 2 small kids, I'm sure you can all appreciate that 5 minutes is the best that you can do some days, and some days I give it, 12, 17 hours straight on weekends to get some stuff done, believe it or not. So I have to say thank you to my supportive husband, because he really is my rock, and he allows me to do what it is that I need to do, not only for myself but for my family. I'm sorry that I sound so glum. I have a bit of a cold, a bit of a sore throat, so this is the best it's going to get for today. But I wanted to get this video done because eventually I won't have any more of these to show you, because they have to be mailed out and given out. So we'll get right to it. The first thing that I did was I made shower invitations for my sister, and I chose to use the Recollections value pack of blank cards and envelopes. And I bought 2 sizes. I bought the larger ones and the smaller ones so that the smaller ones could fit in as a response card to the big one. I found it weird because I did go on YouTube and I didn't really see a lot of how-to wedding invitations, except for the ones you buy pre-made or stuff like that. So I'm hoping that maybe this video inspires you if you've got any weddings that you're working on or you'd like to do for someone else. I made mass amounts because our families are so big. So wedding shower invitations were 130 and wedding invitations came out to be 180. So that is a lot of cards. I know for other people, when I go to work and I tell them, they're like, what? How many people do you guys have? But truly, honestly, sorry, that's my camera strap. That is our family. So yeah, I started out with the Recollections pad and pack, and I bought that when it was on sale. So they usually have pretty good sales, and this starts out to be the shower invitations and what they look like. And so I stamped and embossed the flourishes with the Stampedius embossing powder, and I believe it's called Blushing Pink, and it's fitting for Blushing Bride. And I used my Martha Stewart punch, which, let me tell you, this punch is tired. I had to do the wax paper trick to get it chomping down again. So I don't know how many uses you can get out of one, but I think I maxed it out almost. But I just love it. And on those little holes that it does leave behind, so like on the inside, I'll show you, that's where I decided to put the little pearls. And this is an Allie Edwards stamp from her stamp set that I use all the time, so you must have seen it before. And because this paper, I don't know, it's like embossed, it kind of does a hologram effect with this, and I used Versamark Black because that's my favorite ink to use. And then this background blush paper is also embossed in polka dots. I didn't do that myself, the paper came like that. And then all the edges are distressed with linen, antique linen. I've covered up some privacy stuff throughout what I'll be showing you, but the inside invitation I stamped with Stampin' Up's pink something or other. I'm sorry, I'm so bad, but it's the closest matching color that I had. And then I used my punch to punch out those. I chose to do this so that her card itself became a reusable card. And I really like that. That's a Monica thing. That's a Scrap Saturday thing, where if I send out an invitation, I love that you can reuse the card for someone else. It's a pay it forward, pass it on, don't throw it away, use it for someone else. So on the bottom of the invitation, I actually put reuse this card as a gift for someone else. Share the love was the theme for that. So on the inside, I tucked in the smaller version of the Recollections card. Again, I cut out the corners, put down some pearls, embossed this part, and then I have a Recollection stamp set that had the RSVP on the inside, and I numbered the back of the cards to coincide with my mailing list so that I would know in case people didn't put their names on here, who was sending it back. When I got these all back in the mail, I then repurposed them again, matting the inside with some white and blush toned paper, and repurposed them as thank you cards, and then stamping the outside layer with a small thank you stamp that I had. So again, I was able to reuse these cards as a thank you card for my sister to reuse them and keep sending them back and forth. That way you're not just wasting it and there's more purpose to it. So then this is what the card looked like. And again, I used the Martha Stewart punch on that corner. So these are pretty basic. These were easy. The embossing was not. It took me a long time to emboss all of them, but I was so pleased with the way they turned out. And then the next one I'm going to show you, these are the party favors, or bomboniere as we call them here, for each guest at the shower. They received one of these at their place settings, and I used some dollar store ribbon, and I love the satin ribbon. It's double-sided, so it's so nice to work with, and it's really nice quality. And then I used some cotton, it's not really baker's twine. It's just like from a hardware store type. It is 100% cotton, so it folds so nicely. And then this is leftover strips from cutting out whatever I matted. And then I used, this is the same thank you stamp that I used on those response cards. Sorry, my camera cuts out. It has like a timer thing that I haven't figured out, so I have to smush these videos together, so bear with me. So like I was saying, this is the same thank you stamp that I used. And so what I did was I made 4 cards for each guest. And the first one is a cupcake themed card, and this is the Recollections pattern paper cardstock that they sell. And I made a gatefold one, and I stamped happy birthday in there. And so the cupcake theme is what we did and what we chose to do. This one, this is my odd one. The other one I have is actually cuter, but they're all handed out. So it's a really cute little girl stamp set, and my sister works with children. So for her it was fitting, and I made this one a thank you card. And then this one is a Recollections stamp. I think you all know it's the bicycle stamp, and this is my favorite Ali Edwards, You Make Me Smile. I used the border punch of a postage stamp punch, and then used a Martha Stewart edge stamp there to give it some more definition and to bring in the red on that side. Yes, sweetheart, mommy's making a video. And then this last card is also using a Recollections stamp set, which I really love, which is the birdcage one. And then on this corner I use the Fiskars butterfly. It's the Easy Squeeze punch, and I got it from Walmart. And this is the negative from that punch, which I stamped with this. I think it's Making We Are Memory Keepers, or I don't know. I don't know, guys. But it's one of my favorite little stamps because it is that big, and then it has like a torn off edge effect. This is a Martha Stewart butterfly one, and this is a small little happy birthday one that I use like all the time. And I love layering my stamps because you get such a big effect with just layering the stamps. And this ink that I used is actually Studio G that my sister picked up for me, and this is that green color, which stamps awesome, and this is the blush tone that she absolutely is madly in love with. So it really turns out nicely. So that's what I did, and I stamped the butterfly, and then I used Scotch Quick Dry just to put that there for everyone. And then I included 4 envelopes for them. So I'm hoping that everybody gets some fabulous uses out of these. And again, like I said, my God, it's such a small world. So share the love, pay it forward. And then this is my little demo of my sister's wedding invitations. So she ordered all the paper and stuff like that online, and it all came in 12 by 12 sheets. And she also ordered a little custom stamp that has her address to receive her responses. And she got paper liners for the inside. And then we went ahead and created these invitations. Now these are absolutely spectacular. She got these online as well. And these are feathers that we've had, or I had in my stash. And this outside front pocket is embossed with the Cuddlebugs. I think this is called Victorian Flourish, and I'm not sure if it's Victorian something or other. And again, I'm sorry guys, I'm really bad with names and stuff like that. So basically, this is what the card looks like when you open it up. And these pockets were also embossed with the same folder. And of course I covered up some of the names and the dates and stuff out of respect to all of our families who have attended the wedding and stuff like that. So this I just printed out with my printer. The back paper is that blush color again that my sister so loves. And then in here holds her 2 maps to both of the places where people had to attend. And this is her idea to have a 1-page or 1 postcard type RSVP type response card. She did all this on the computer and printed it out, and I thought it turned out absolutely awesome. I used my Deco corner, We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper edge throughout all of the invitation corners, and again she used her personalized stamp so that it would come straight through. So that was kind of neat. So basically for the invitations, the 12 by 12s were cut down to 6 by 12. And then they were scored just like you would score any normal standard card, and my stylus is out. So first I did the 4 1/4, and then I did the 8 1/2. And then you end up with the smaller side, and I think you can see the lines there a little bit. And so this smaller side is the side that you'd be fitting into your Cuttlebug folder facing up, so that that part is the part that you want out. Now the Cuttlebug folder does have negative edges, and you should practice with some spare paper, because if you place it properly, and it did take me a few tries, like I had to work with it, you see that there's a balanced amount of negative space. You don't want it to be too far. And then this edging, I try to see, because I know some of these folders, if you look closely, if everything lines up together, it gives you a big indented line. So you almost have like 2 double lines. You've got your scored line and then your embossing folder line, and it doesn't look nice. So practice on some free paper first so you don't waste your good paper. But I did find a good balance, and then I just went with it and everything rolled out right. The pockets were cut at 3 inches high and then 4 inches wide, give or take a little bit, because your paper, you know, is not always perfect, so you just want to measure and make sure that it came out. I left 1/4 inch, pardon me, 1/2 inch for folding room to create the pocket on the other side, and I did miter the edges because this corner does stick out and you want it to be a nice clean edge, nice clean corner. And I actually reinforced it. I didn't use red sticky tape, which I'm sure you would, but I glued it down with glossy accents just to give it a bit more reinforcing. And again, each pocket was embossed exactly the same. So every pocket I put in like that, as you can see, it matches up. And I ran it through the Cuttlebug. For this one, I obviously put it this way and then ran it through the Cuttlebug lengthwise like that. I didn't need to use any shims or anything like that. This paper is really nice to work with. Very heavy, very nice weight. The only other thing that I do have to mention that we found when we were putting them together is, so this is your short side, this is your embossed side, this is your middle part where you're going to be matting your invitation, and this is the outer edge that tucks into it. So it's the back edge where your pocket goes. It does need to be trimmed down by a couple of 1/8 of an inch just to give it that nice fitting effect that you see here. So it's just like, you know, a couple of 1/8 of an inch just to give it, you know, the neatness that it needs. Now, when you are folding these down with your bone folder, you do need to press hard to make the crease stay, and on both sides. Not hard enough that you'd tear paper, but hard enough that you get it to stay the way that you want it to. So hopefully this helps you out if you do want to make some yourself. And then the last thing that I'm going to show you is my sister's box that I made for her, and this is to put all the envelopes that we receive from family members and friends with money in it, and that's our tradition as well in our European culture. So we do need a little place to put all those envelopes that she will be gathering. And so basically this box started out like this. glossy and full of butterflies, and I bought this from my local dollar store. And then using some dollar store acrylic paint. This one is light antique white, and this one is just tan color. So I did the whole box in this base, all of it, and I let it dry. I actually dried it with my heat gun because I was so impatient and I didn't want to wait. And then I went over it. Well, whatever I mixed up, it kind of turned out like this. I still have some because I just did it this afternoon. So I added the antique white to whatever was remaining of the tan, and that's what I ended up with. And I love it. And all I did was use a foam brush from the dollar store. But if you can see, there are a lot of wood grain streaks to it, a lot of natural cracking happening with the paint just because of how many layers I put on it. And it isn't crackle paint as far as I know, but it did give that effect as I push on that. But it turned out awesome. And then I used some, some Tim Holtz Distress ink in the walnut stain to go over the edges to stress this paper photo. This is a photo that I took of them myself, and I love it. It hangs downstairs on my family wall of pictures, but I only printed it out on regular paper, and I distressed the edges with my Tim Holtz Distresser and then again with the walnut stain. This is a Prima flower that I had. I used a similar one on my anniversary album. This is a paper flower from the dollar store that I spritzed with my own homemade Perfect Pearls Glimmer Mist. This is just a little clay butterfly from the dollar store. These are Recollection leaves, some of the feathers that we used within the same theme of her wedding. Some of that same ribbon that we've used. My mother-in-law's fabulous crocheted flowers. Again, my pearl earrings stuck into the dollar store fabric flowers. And then this is just some Prima Bling. When you open it up, it again has the same butterfly pattern. I just stressed the ribbon that it came with. And it's more matte, it's not shiny or glossy, but I left it like that because I wasn't going to paint the whole thing. So I say that like it's so much work. I was going to paint the whole thing. But it kind of goes with the butterfly theme, and I laugh because, you know, people will be like, oh my goodness, it's so nice. And I'll be like, look what it looked like before. Although it's nice, it's not ugly, it's just not the right theme. But yeah, I think that the paint, it turned out so cool. I really liked it. I surprised myself because I really don't alter things. And so that was a little bit outside of my comfort zone. But like with all things, I watch all you wonderful ladies out there and you inspire me to do fabulous things that make me so happy. So to all you ladies that make the videos, thank you because I watch you faithfully. To all my subscribers, thank you for all your comments, your love, everything. I thrive on it. It's just so much fun, and you guys are so talented, so I am humble in comparison to what I see when I go to bed at night on YouTube. And you're so loving and kind, so keep up all that wonderful community that we do have with each other. I am going to work on a mini album for my last summer camping trip because I don't have any albums to put out on my coffee table, and I feel like scrapbooking for myself a little bit because I'm kind of like all carded out. But I do wish my sister all the love and happiness in the world, obviously. Anything that I can do to dedicate for her is worth it. So I hope she enjoys this box, and I hope that you guys enjoyed all these. I know it's kind of quick and a little bit fast, and again I sound like such a hopeless person here with this horrible voice, but I do miss you guys. Thank you again for everything. Happy June. It is summertime, so I don't scrapbook as much in the summer. Again with my camera, so I hope I can smush these together. If not, you'll be watching very choppy videos. But basically this last part is just to say goodbye. So have fun, guys, be inspired. And I just made these tags. They're so cute. It says eat me. And I'm gonna hang them off the cupcake stands. And I have cupcakes that we're gonna have as our centerpieces for her shower. So it's so cute, isn't it? And it's the same cupcake that I used on the cards that are the thank you cards, blah, blah, blah. Fabulous. Okay, girls, have a great time. And I'll see you maybe next week or the week after with my Cricut mini album for the summer. Thanks.